So 27a, we have the Brisa Tanya Amar Rabbi Yehuda Ein Bir Chometz Ela Sreifa. So the only way that you can do Bir Chometz, says Rabbi Yehuda, is by Sreifa. And basically, there's a whole. It just gives page a lot of proofs or not proofs as to Rabbi Yehuda's shita. And at the end, he seems to give up, really. In the end of it says, Chazer Rabbi Yehuda, he did a different din. And then Shasak Rabbi Yehuda. So he's kind of knocked out in this. But this is the shita of Rabbi Yehuda, that we burn the chometz. So the Shulchan Aruch, Ketzet Bir chometz, you burn it. Or you roll it up and you throw it into the wind, or you throw it into the yam. So it's not davka burning. So if it's hard and it's not going to get all melted in the water, so don't throw it into the sea where someone can get it. So the Ramah says that the minhag is to burn the chometz. So again, this is kind of what we do. We burn the chometz. That's really coming from 27 B in the Gemara there, even though Rabbi Yehuda doesn't look like he's so sure of his reasoning over there. It's good to sarfu b'yom dumia de noiser. So noiser is the korban that gets posel overnight, so therefore in the day, only in the day it's noiser, so in the day you burn it. Shahaya nisraf b'yom. So like noiser, you burn the chametz, just like the yom. Achim roitzel sarfu miyad achar bedika kadesh lo yigro cholda. So you do the bedika at nighttime. If you want to burn it immediately, so that no one's going to take this chometz, harushus biyado. So therefore, there's no issue really of burning the chometz. You don't have to do it davka, an hour before Pesach or whatever. But you can burn it at nighttime. The Ramah says that there's no issue. Now here the Taz. The Hamin Hagla Sorfo. Nira de Tamna Sarif Azumi Shum Shiesh Maklokas Ben Ri Lachachamim. So again, he's coming on Psachim there. Im Boy Sreifa. The Rabu Aplukta Ben a Poiskim. The Poiskim don't really have a finalization on it. So Yeshlin Hoka Machmirim. So therefore, we should be Noiheg like the Machmirim. V'lachein Nira Damish Makai Mitzvah Sreifa. So you should burn it from the 6th avachakach nimsa chatichas chametz she'ein sharich l'sorfo eli yivaro mino oilam shrei misha sheish lamala anu makilim b'chametz kamo b'shari surim. Now we had in the Gemara that there's a maklokas here. This is Yud Beis Amud Beis Amar Rav Yehuda Eimasai. When do you when's the mitzvah to burn it? Shelo b'shas biura, when it's not this time of biur. So Taisus here is shelo b'shas biura, perish a contra shelo b'shas biura b'sheish ub'shas. So it's b'sheish. So Rashi says that it has to be before 6. So we burn it there before 6, but Taisus says it's after 6. That you don't burn it that beforehand, since there's no isra in the chometz. So therefore, there's no din of the burning. So really here, according to the Taz, our whole minhag of burning is like a chumrah 2 ways. The one, we have to go like Rashi and not Maklokas. According to him, when you burn it beforehand, because we burn it before. And also that maybe the halach is not like Rabbi Yehuda, it's just a big Maklokas, and therefore he said this is the minhag in which we do. So, everyone does it this way. And they kind of keep chometz left over and they burn it. But it doesn't really seem to be such a such a big deal at the end of the day. This is the Mishnah Brur. That go like Rabbi Yehuda. It says, "Ein birachometz elish sreifa, the alfina min noisar shehu b'sreifa." So again, we have that. That's the Ramah saying to do it by day. Umin hagzeh hu afilu im sorfo bizman haroi dahina b'sof shah 5. So that it's at the end of the 5th hour, like our minhag. So he says the minhag is that it's to burn it even if it's the burning which is the end of the 5th hour. or b'chol shah sheishis, or the whole 6th hour. So you want to do it before the 6th hour, because since if you have the mitzvah to burn it, so you have to go and find wood, so therefore you got to give him more than just a little bit of time. So you give him like the whole 6th hour and towards the end of the 5th hour. So for sure, there you have to burn. So that's straight for davka. So once it's already usr, you find it after 6, so it's already in the isra chometz. So then for sure we burn everything. And here's the Bira Gro. The Bira Gro says the haminhag hu pi al pi das Rashi, because again we burn it before 6 like Rashi. Aval ha'eker kaperish toisvis. The eker is like toisvis. So our whole minhag and what we do for burning is really nothing to do with the eker halacha, because the eker halacha is like toisvis, that the eker burning is after 6, and we don't do that because we already get rid of our chometz before 6. So this whole thing is a bit. So it's a bit of a bizarre minhag which you have to burn it. There's no real clear reason why, because some people go like Rabbi Yehuda, therefore we're machmir, and everybody burns the chometz. It's a chumrah, even though the chumrah is only like Rashi and the Iker's like Tosfos. Again, which is because Rashi holds that before 6 is when you burn it, whereas Tosfos says after 6 is when you burn it. What's Rabbi Yehuda referring to? Tosfos says after 6. So this machlok is in the poskim, it's what the halach is. Machlok is in the poskim is what to do. But we're so machmir, we hold here kachumra and then we burn it, which seems to be like everyone burns their chometz, but really it's not such a onerous chiyuv, because the whole thing is minhag and doesn't really seem to be going like halacha. Okay, so the Mishnah on Chof Hes Amud Aleph, chometz shel nochri shavar lavas a Pesach. So a goy holds chometz. When a lot of them have it, so let's say, I don't know, you go, Walmart owns chometz and they don't sell their chometz. Mutter bahano. So after Pesach, it's mutter bahano. But if a Jew, it's asher bahano. It's chometz lavas a Pesach, asher bahano. Shenemar lo yireh lecha seor. See here, Rashi says mishum kanas. It's kanas. Why? Why is chometz lavas a Pesach asher mishum hano? It's because of kanas. Shal goy, it's mutter. So the next Amud, this is Mani Matnis, and who is the Mishnah? I Rabbi Yehuda chometz stama kamar, afilu danachri, since it's so we have all the shitas in between, and we say, so we've explained that Rabbi Yehuda holds that everything is he holds that a goy. We'll see what he holds, but there he's saying that since it's chometz stam, so for even a goy's chometz would be aser after Pesach, and if it's Rabbi Shimon, so Yisrael Nami Mishra, because Rabbi Shimon holds that after Pesach, then the goy it's only kanas if he did something wrong with it. Nami Shamar Kashar, he matters of a Yisrael, but hano la'achar zmano. But Rabbi Yossi Hagagali, he's the third guy. Fila Tochzmanu Nami Mishra. And if it's even so, Rabbi Yossi Hagagali has a shita. The chometz b'tocha Pesach is mutter bahano, whereas the Gemara here is saying that it's also bahano after Pesach. So therefore, for sure, it's not mutter b'tocha Pesach. So it's not like anyone. Kashari bahano. Amar Rav Acha Bar Yaakov la'olam Rabbi Yehuda. He's the whole Mishnah Rabbi Yehuda. So why does it say that of a nochri it's mutter achar Pesach? V'yalev shor de'achila mishor de re'iyah, and he learns that the eating of the chometz, he learns it from the re'iyah. So the re'iyah, what's a bali roy bali motzeh? Mashor de re'iyah shel cha'iyah taroya. So that the bali roy bali motzeh is only for yours. Aval taroya shel acherim v'shel gavoa. So these are some of the drushes we had before. So you can have shel hekdesh, and shel acherim is also mutter. So if someone else has, you have no chiyuv, you're not oiver if someone else has chometz. What's acherim? Acherim are goyim. Af shor de'echila shel cha'iyah ta'oichel aval ta'oichel shel acherim. So he holds at this stage, at the end of the Gemara, he's choizer from it, but at this stage he's holding that the goy's chometz on Pesach is mutter to a Jew. So that there's no Isser Bechlal of a Goy's Chometz. Only a Jew's Chometz is Osir, but a Goy's Chometz is Mutter. Again, he loses it at the end of the daf, but it is Mutter to a Jew. Now, V'shel Gavua, Ubedin Hu de Boyle Lemitnis Afila Bachila Nami. So the Mishnah should have said also in eating, V'adi de Tanit Yisrael Osir Bahano, Tananami de Nachri Mutter Bahano. Ubedin hu di boile lemitnis da filu betoch zman mutter. You should have also said in the Mishnah that betoch zman that the chometz is mutter. That's a big chiddush. Bahanova adi de tan Yisrael la'achar zmano tanam nachri la'achar zmano. So it's nachri la'achar zmano is mutter, even though the nachri betoch zmano is mutter. It's just because by a Jew we were talking about achar zmano. So, Vayalev shor dechila kloimer chamas de gabe lo yachel mishor de rea umoter chamsel shel nachri af bechila. So Rashi here says, and again, this is only an havamina of this teretz of Rav Acha Bar Yaakov. This is the way he's explaining the Mishnah according to Rabbi Yehuda, that the chometz of a goy is mutter even bechila, and even on Pesach deraisa. So there'd only be an isser to rabbanon to eat chometz of a nachri. Okay, so mutter chometz shel nachri af be'echila, and a Tosfos here, Perish Rashi, mutter be'echila. So what's Tosfos kasha here? A kasha, the efshar. The whole din of Rashi is impossible. Rashi says that you're eating chometz of a goy on Pesach. Im lo yiyeh shelo b'shas echila. Tosfos says it has to be yours at the time of eating. So how can you be eating of a goy during Pesach? Because somehow once you take it, it's yours. De'im nasan lo, if he gave it to him, hanachri the goy herehu shalo. If the goy took it, it's his. So therefore the goy gave it to you. How are you eating the goy's chometz? The goy gave it to you, so therefore it's yours. So you're not eating the goy's chometz, you're eating your own chometz. Ve'im gazol minachri, you stole it from a nachri, ere chayiv ba'achriso. And once you steal it from the nachri, you're chayiv and achrayis, and therefore it's v'lo gara michametz shechayiv ba'achriso. And which chayiv chametz shechayiv ba'achriso is you're chayiv. To have it kashalo, it's like your rose. It's yours. So therefore, Tosfos has no idea here how it can be yours. So Tosfos has a maklokas with Rashi as to whether the food you eat, it doesn't have to be yours now. So Rashi holds that the food you eat, it doesn't have to be yours. So Tosfos says it has to be yours. There's no way you can get out of it not being yours. They should have been arguing in Pesach itself. So Tosfos flips it from not echila, it's bahano. So again, it's just there's a technical issue that there's no way that you can eat a goy's food, because once you have it and you're eating it, so therefore it's yours. And you say aval ata oichel shel acherem, it's lav dafka, it's not oichel shel acherem, it's hano. Inami achar zmano kamar, we're talking about after zman. Mihu b'shel gavoa kasha, but for hektish it's a kasha. The perish b'tocha pesach to im, because that's talking about tocha pesach. Therefore, you can't say achar zmano for kodesh because we have the shel acherem and shel hektish. To im lo padu, it's aser bahano. You have to point it. Im padu harehu shelo. The shema yishlamar avalata nena mishel gavoa shelo ye aser chametz aval aser hektish. Yesh. And the ikar issue here with the Tosfos, so Tosfos having to go with Rashi that he says that he's able to eat the food. So how can he be eating the food? So have a look at the Kobetz Shiurim.
Sorry, in our current understanding.
So it's hektish and goyim. So the Kobetz Shiurim, he's going on Chavtes Sham Tosfos, Bedinhu Perish Rashi Motor Be'echila V'Kasha. Efshar im lo yeh shelo b'shas echila. This is the Tosfos Hakel Nashoneh. V'ledas Rashi. So what's Rashi holding? Yesh loymar the after hanachri noiten lo. Even the guy gave him who eina roitzel izchus. He doesn't want to have a zechila in it. So Tosfos seems to be saying that what you get a zechila memela. Ele roitzel echol shel nachri ve'eina zeicha bal korcha. So I don't want to be zeicha in what the guy is giving me. And so I want to eat the goy's stuff, and I'm not zeicha. Bal korch, you can't make me zeicha in it. And in the Dorim, it's la davka la fuke ti ezmina uperish haran la oila memelacha ti yahavle b'matana sharile. So even if you don't, so by Nadarim it's mutter if you have a matana. V'kika marle alech la fuke ti ezmina alech. It's just if it says on you, it's that he didn't invite him. Tisurle. Dai shaitan lami kekaruhu akalashona. Umavor. So it's explained the gamka she'oichel hakikar ena shelo. Even though when you're eating the kikar, it's not yours. Eila shel noisen. So that's when you have a neder that you're not going to eat from something, but he gives it to you. You're able to eat the kikar because it's not yours. Ubeshita mikubetzes katav harashba amai gozru al damai ha have a sveka de rabbanon akula poter midaraisa. V'tiris the ikele migzar de zimnim oichrim al shulchano, so that you invite others on your table. So therefore, it's the balabayas buys the demai, and it's not a problem. But the Rashba is saying that there's going to be we have a gezerah of where the balabayas is feeding it to people at his table. If the people at his table get the food that they get, so then they're eating their own, and they're the lokeach. Elamai has to be that they're oichem mishal balabayas, and therefore they're not koina. So, and it's in the Shulchan Aruch, sheyishuv etzel balabayas v'notel chelko v'kadesh bo mikudeshes. So if somebody is sitting by the balabayas, so you're at somebody's house, and you are sitting beside a girl, and you take a chicken leg from the table and you put it on your plate, and then from that chicken leg you give it to the woman sitting beside you. Say, "Rest mikudeshes with this chicken leg." It's mikudeshes. So that could be hakari mikudeshes. So it must be that you're coining the food at the table. So then that is like Tosfos, not like Rashi. So hatza mayri sherotzel is chutbo. So that could be sure it's not a big deal. That could be because you want to be chutbo. Aval im ein rotzel is chutbo lo yiskei bal korch. You can't force him to do it. So the fact that he wants to marry this woman is because, so therefore he wants to be zoicha at the table. Harashba ben nedarim sham hevi perush acher to iazmina shuv eina kuri kikikr shel hanoitin. So if he invites you, that's not called the guy who's giving it to you. So all the food, the Rashba is saying that all the food you get when you're invited somewhere, you get all that food. The zekadas toises, that's all like toises here. So basically, well, there's lots. We're going to see a bigger nafka. I don't know what you're doing by Purim. We're going to see a bigger nafkamina, but Rashi, you don't get. Well, he's I don't know. He's Zuk das Tosfos. Tosfos, as we see, Tosfos with the food you get, you're zoich in the food. You get given food, you're zoich in the food. No issues. Rashi seems to be saying you're not zoich in the food. Maybe here in the Kuvah Sha'urim, he's saying that if you have das to be zoich, then it works. But if you don't have das to be zoich, it doesn't work. Now, here's the Sfas Emes from Sukkah. And in Sukkah, the Gemara says that there's a hekesh lechem lehem to so here in the Sfas Emes, so Shama Gemara, he said lechem lechem there's a hekesh. U'mashma that the maskon of the Gemara is in the filazeh, you need to be careful with the matzah shel mitzvah. So matzah shel mitzvah is the kazayis of matzah you eat. Sheyeh hamatzah shelo, it has to be yours. Sheyeh lo b'din momun, it has to be yours in din momun. Davka l'rech al shulchan abalabayis, and someone who is going to someone else's house. Tzarchli ten lo habalabayis hamatzah b'metana. So the balabayis has to davka give the matzah as a matana of the matzah, so the person eating the matzah, it's hers. It's not enough that he gives him permission to eat. So if he gives him matzah and he says, "Yeah, you can eat the matzah," it's not enough. He has to give him here's a kazayis matzah for because the achilas kazayis matzah on Pesach. He says here is a din of it has to be shelo. It's yod shelo mamish, has to be yours mamish. He's able to sell it and to makdish it. The matana she'ali de lehakdish shelo shemei matana. V'ha'oila mein nizrim beher, but people aren't noiser beher. So maybe they're soymech on the rosh. Sheheter lekadesh betos. Shula deraisa. But here the oilam isn't nizr beher. Chayra, if we go like Shitas Atoisvis, so therefore we don't have a problem. There's no way I can eat this matzah without this matzah being mine. But if we go like Rashi, so therefore we have issues, and you have to kind of do this whole dance of where I'm being zeiche in it, and that you need to be mizaket to me, because you can't be mizaket bal korch. You can't force the guy to be mizaket to you. Obviously, if you go to a balabas who's an amaretz, he's not going to be think about things. So this is really the pashas of the Gemara, it's saying that it's lechem, and therefore it's yours. Again, this is in Sukkah. Yeah, so here in Sukkah, so he said lechem, ketiv haka lechem oni, that's the matzah. The kedahasam by chala v'hayaba cholta mi lechem haaretz. Malahala ma, just like by chala, it has to be yours and not from meiser. Also, too, that the matzah has to be yours and not from meiser. So you have this chumrah of the sfas emes that taka that matzah chila, matzah mitzvah has to taka be yours. You have to make a kinyan. So if you go, and then also will be a child who's at the table of his father. Once he's over bar mitzvah, he would have to own that matzah, and it's not enough that he's at the father's table. He would have to actually make a kinyan on it. And so again becomes a whole machlokus as to whether the food you eat is yours or not. It's not such a big issue, because seemingly according to the Kobach Shurim, and that says the Shulchan Aruch says that you can be mekadosh a woman with your portions. So seemingly you take the matzah and it becomes yours. You have das to be zeiche in it, and it's yours and you eat it. But there is this chumrah of the sfas emes there to make a proper kinyan on your matzah. Make sure that again, some weirdos from Or Samech or whatever bring their own matzah places, so that will get out of this issue. Maybe this is why they do it, but there is a chumrah of the sfas emes. Here we go in like Shitas Rashi, where it is possible for you to eat the matzah of the balabayas, and there, according to the Pasha of the Gemara, maybe not yoitza.